A strong 7.0 magnitude earthquake has struck off the coast of Northern California. According to the U.S. Geological Survey, a tsunami warning was initially issued along the coasts of both Northern California and Southern Oregon, an area that includes about 4.7 million people, but was later rescinded. The earthquake's epicenter hit closest to the town of Ferndale, California, a small city in Humboldt County about 260 miles 418 kilometers north of San Francisco. Local officials said no deaths or major widespread damage had been reported in the aftermath of the quake, which is one of only 9 such 7-magnitude quakes to strike globally this year. Humboldt County Sheriff's Office told CBS News, the BBC's U.S. partner, that there had been no catastrophic destruction to buildings or infrastructure, but some homes did report minor damage. Several stores in the area reported items falling off shelves and power briefly went out for many residents. The sheriff's office said more than 10,000 people were without power in Humboldt County after the earthquake struck, according to PowerOutage.us. While the earthquake did not cause widespread damage, one resident of Ferndale, who spoke to the BBC in the minutes following the quake, said the inside of the building she was in looks like a bomb has gone off in every room. Olivia Cobian, the innkeeper at the Gingerbread Mansion in Ferndale, said the inside of the inn now looks like a war zone. We have huge cast iron fireplaces that have been lifted up and moved over. Everything's fallen over, broken. Another who witnessed the quake was Todd Dunaway, who was eating lunch in his home in Fortuna, California when the earthquake hit. It literally felt like standing on a giant waterbed, he told the BBC. The noise of rattling windows, creaking walls, falling dishes and decorations added to the drama and stariness of it all as it is happening. Naturally, you can't help wonder as it is happening, is this the really big one? Mr. Dunaway said he and his wife, who was also in the house, were shaking nervously for 15 minutes afterwards, waiting to see if there would be a bigger aftershock. His large swimming pool was still sloshing ferociously for minutes after the shaking stopped and lost about 18 inches 45 centimeters of water. His sporting goods store experienced some damage, with boxes of shoes falling from the shelves, but nothing major, he said. Multiple aftershocks were reported after the initial earthquake, which struck around 10:40 for local time, 18:40 for GMT. Some areas, including the city of Berkeley in Northern California, issued an evacuation order due to the threat of a possible tsunami. Evacuate now, an ex-post from the city warned. People in the tsunami zone are in immediate danger and must evacuate now. Staged of 7th St. This is a lawful order to leave now. Kayla Ihara was staying at a hotel in Half Moon Bay, California, and got the back-to-back alerts about the earthquake and potential tsunami. Before the tsunami warning was canceled, workers at the hotel had told her to vacate a gym and go to higher ground out of fear of the tsunami's impacts. Some vacated outside, and she said multiple people crowded near the shoreline of the Pacific Coast Hotel, watching the waves and waiting to see any hints of a tsunami. California Governor Gavin Newsom was briefed on the earthquake and met with state emergency officials to help coordinate the response. At an event along the U.S.-Mexico border, the governor announced he'd signed a state of emergency declaration to help free resources to respond to the earthquake. He said the earthquake is another reminder of the state that we live in and the state of mind that we need to bring to our day-to-day reality here in the state of California. Tsunami signs line the roads of many coastal communities along the U.S. West Coast. They mark any tsunami hazard zone and often point those in the area to evacuation routes leading them to higher ground. Those who live in these tsunami zones are encouraged to familiarize themselves with their evacuation routes and have a kit ready for quick evacuation. California's Emergency Services website notes, a tsunami can hit in as little as 5 to 10 minutes after a large earthquake, and sometimes the first wave to hit is not the biggest. It notes if you see water draw out from the shoreline and go out to sea quickly. Escape immediately to higher ground or inland. The U.S. West Coast is the confluence of a number of the Earth's tectonic plates, and tremors are not uncommon. But a strong 7 magnitude quake isn't typically seen in the region. Experts say there are between 10 and 15 earthquakes of this magnitude that hit globally each year. There have been 8 other earthquakes with a 7 magnitude globally this year, according to data from the U.S. Geological Survey. The agency says that typically there are about 20,000 earthquakes tracked around the globe each year, about 55 per day. The area has been struck by a number of major earthquakes, including a 1994 quake that hit Northridge in the Los Angeles area, killing dozens of people and injuring thousands more, as it wrought billions of dollars of damage to homes and infrastructure. In the event of a tsunami, quick and decisive action is crucial for survival. The first step is to recognize the signs of a tsunami. A sudden and strong earthquake, especially near coastal areas, is often a warning. If you feel an earthquake, do not wait for official alerts. Immediately move to higher ground or an inland area. Tsunamis can strike within minutes, so it's essential to act swiftly. Head to a designated tsunami evacuation zone if you are near the coast. If there are no higher grounds available, seek refuge in a sturdy building and move to the highest floors. It's important to avoid the beach and water bodies, as tsunamis can bring dangerous waves. If you are in a coastal area and notice the water receding quickly, this is a natural warning sign of an impending tsunami, and you should evacuate immediately, moving away from the shoreline. In addition, stay informed by listening to emergency broadcast systems, sirens, or your phone for real-time updates and evacuation instructions. If you are in a boat, stay away from the shore and move to deeper waters, as tsunami waves are often not immediately visible on the surface, but can be extremely destructive. After the tsunami hits, be cautious when returning to the coast, as additional waves may follow. Avoid flooded areas and damaged buildings until authorities confirm they are safe. By following these actions, you can significantly increase your chances of survival during a tsunami and protect yourself and others around you. Preparation and awareness are key to minimizing the risks of such a disaster.